They say that if you want to hide anything from a black man, then put it in a book. Unfortunately, hiding secrets in books will no longer be effective as long as Chidi Ononye keeps doing what he does.
Triple Fun Club, it's basically a long story. The way it started is this. I was in a training school, as a matter of fact, in London, one of those slumsy training school and all that, and I kept on reading books, and I saw a lot of things in these books that I read that a lot of people wouldn't do. I came back to Nigeria and I said to myself, how do you make these books available to people? Because there is so much to learn, from these books. So I started Book World Concept first. The whole idea of Book World Concept is to make books available, to people.
When I met him, he was into book sales and library services.
I set up a club for professionals, so I had about 600 professionals. But then, at a point again, I realized that time wouldn't allow a number of them to come to the club to do things. Okay, children were in the club. A friend said to me one day, why not take this club to schools?
It was actually introduced into the school in June 2008. It started off as a mobile library. Actually, we're having a military day, and Mr. Chidi gave a presentation to parents about starting off a mobile library.
It was through a newsletter that was sent to us from the school. The owner of the school sent us a newsletter. That was the first introduction, and that was how I learned about the club.
There were schools that I actually approached, initially, just like Bereton Montessori, where I felt this club will also benefit the kids. But then, everybody can see at the same time. People see at different times, Some of them thought it was just coming into school to give the kids books. You see some of them say, oh, we also have books. What are you coming to do, My club is not just about giving books to kids. It's the activities, we have with them. The Triple Fun Club is derived from the fact that we have 3 aims we want to fulfill. The triple actually stands for the 3 aims we want to fulfill, okay? Now, the fun part has to do with making this lively and fun for the kids. Because if you teach children, if you bring in the normal school setting, it's boring for them, okay? So we have to come in with a dimension that kids will love to learn. It's motivational learning, if I'm going to put it that way.
I have 3 children in the Triple Fun Club. One is Obenama, Osinachi, and Izwane. There are 3 of them. I can tell you for sure, I have a 5-year-old. Before he joined the club, he wasn't reading. But now he reads. In fact, he picks up everything around him and he tries to read it. Then somehow they now have a level of concentration, the 3 of them. I can tell you for sure that my kids now can say a lot about Martin Luther King, about Einstein and all that. I couldn't buy the books for them, but thanks to Triple Fun Club, they borrowed the books from there and they have read the books.
It was the little girl, I think one of the winners at the event by the name Miss Chiamaka Nwachukwu. She came up with the idea one day. She said, okay, 3-fold things we're trying to achieve. Let's say triple and fun for everyone, and then with the club thing, and that was how we got the name. So the triple stands for the literacy part of the club, which is basically reading fluency development and then creative writing skills. Then we have the oracy part, which is speech presentation and, impromptu speaking.
Ladies and gentlemen, you all will agree with me that there are people who have wasted their time, their years, and their resources trying to satisfy the interest of their parents as against their own interests.
And we finally have the leadership part. Another amazing success story of the club is the fact, the young Miss Chiamaka Nwachukwu, the lady I mentioned earlier on that came up with the idea of the Triple Fun Club and all that, she's so amazing, and she spells like a machine.
Spell the word psychedelic.
Psychedelic. P-S-Y-C-H-E-D-E-L-I-C.
That's correct.
Simulacrum.
Yes.
S-I-M-U-L-A-C-R-U-M.
That's correct.
Souvenir.
Souvenir.
S-O-U-V-E-N-I-R.
That's correct.
I'm the winner of the Triple Fun Club Spelling Bee Senior Category 2010. I trained for the Spelling Bee by reading the handbook we were giving, and I also read the dictionary. I don't know, I just kept going through the dictionary, words I'd never heard of before. I was trying to finish it. Unfortunately, I couldn't, but I tried my best to do it.
I remember the last year I told her something. I said to her, Chimamaka, you need to put in extra effort, when you do things in life.
She once told me she has about 25 to 30,000 words, in her head. And I don't doubt that because I work constantly with her. I made her to watch a particular documentary, Akila and the Bee. And in the way the girl spelled close to 5,000 words, challenged Chiamaka. And Chiamaka started working with words. So for me, this is part of the kind of thing we want to come out, with every other child in the club.
I don't have any idea how many words I can spell. They may be like 25,000 or 30,000 or more.
The Triple Fun Club over the years, we've been able to achieve huge success with what we do. And I'm quite impressed. When these feedbacks come from parents particularly, I think it's quite, endearing to one's heart. You find parents telling me their kids, while in toilet, you find them reading books.
I can tell you for sure that the club has been doing very, very well to the kids, even to parents. You see what they do in this, their spelling bee and all that. There are some words adults can't even spell, but these children are drilled and they spell such difficult words. They learn how to read, they gain concentration, and so many other things. I can tell you that young man is doing a great work.
At the Triple Fun Club, I learn good things. I learn how to be fluent, how to be audible, how to speak in public. It increases my vocabulary and spelling skills.
I like the club because it helps you know more of yourself. It helps you to read. It gives you liberty to be yourself. In the oratory part, it helps you to be bold and have confidence in yourself.
Our major challenge actually it's financially, because if it's dreams, what he wants to do, where he wants to take the club to, the ideas are just, they are so much. We're taking it one step at a time because definitely it will always get better. At least our program this year is better than last year.
My future plans actually for the club is to make it an African thing, okay? Basically, I think so far so good. I know Port Harcourt, River State is a hard place to be in, okay? It's a done deal that we're going to be in River State, as per region, going to be in Lagos State, in Abuja and all that. Basically, my dream really is to make this an African club.
He's about starting a process which will affect children of this generation, okay? So that they can imbibe the right reading culture.
He's doing something great. He's doing something great. We might not know this now, but these children that are benefiting from this sort of library program will now tell the story in future.
I think he's a very educational person, and he knows the experiences of children.
He teaches us so many things. They bring out the potentials and skills in me that I didn't even know I had.
Uncle Chidi is a very pleasant person. He inspires children. I'm sure he knows many things about children. He has taken us to many places. He has brought inspirators to inspire us on the 10 success strategies, especially that class.
When we put this right foundation where these kids are, I tell you they can build easily. If you want to study medicine, it doesn't mean anything because you're going to read medical text in English language and you need to comprehend what you're reading. So it's foundational. What we're doing is foundational. This is why it's so important. And I think everybody that knows what he or she is doing should get us in.